Hey guys, welcome to the Bold Hairspring. Ivan here. In today's video I'll be showing you the upgraded CasiOak's models. The 2100 series has been one of Casio's most successful ever since it was released in 2019, and both G-Shock and non-G-Shock fans love it. Some of you may know that a year ago I bought and reviewed the GA-2100 ET, which I've really enjoyed wearing. My only complaint about this watch was the lack of a longer lasting battery. Well, you'd be happy to know that things have changed and these newer models are solar powered now. Before we start, I just want to say that both watches have been sent to me for a review by estudioesparza.com. If you've watched any of my previous videos, then you know that they are my trusted dealer when it comes to Casio, Seiko or Citizen watches. I've left their contact info in the description below, so go check them out, and if you're interested in any of their watches, contact them, mention the channel and they'll give you a special discount. Alright guys, let's start with the review. As far as the dimensions go, they're basically identical to the previous version. There is a plus minus 0.1 mm of a difference here and there, but I'm telling you, when you hold both next to each other, they look and feel the same. So the case diameter is still a bit over 45 mm. The lug to lug is 48.6, which for a G-Shock is surprisingly compact. Then the thickness is only 12 mm. And finally, these watches are extremely light as the total weight is just 52 grams. On the wrist, as you can imagine, they look fantastic. Don't let the 45mm case diameter put you off from getting one, because these models wear better than you think. My wrist is 17 centimeters or 6.7 inches in circumference. And while they have some real wrist presence, they wear great. They're very light and very comfortable. These are available in a bunch of different colors, and I'm sure more will be released in the near future, but for now I would say the yellow one is my favorite. When compared to the previous model, the biggest difference is the addition of a solar battery. As I mentioned earlier, my only complaint about my GA-2100 ET is its 3 years battery. It's not a big deal as it can be easily replaced, but I just prefer my G-Shock solar powered. So I'm very happy to see that Casio has listened to its fans and it's giving us exactly what we asked for. The great thing about solar batteries and watches is that if you keep them charged, they can last you well over 10 years, and I find that very convenient. Now, because of the incorporation of the solar panel, the dial surface has changed. It's no longer matte but glossy instead, and it has a subtle sunburst effect. In my opinion, guys, it's neither better nor worse, just different, and I like it either way. The second big change is that this model now features Bluetooth connectivity. What this means is that you can set the time, the alarms, and a couple of other settings via the G-Shock app for your smartphone. I've got a couple of Bluetooth enabled G-Shocks, and to be honest, I almost never use the app, but I do admit that it can be helpful, especially when you set the watch for the first time. I guess it's one of these things that are nice to have, but that you rarely use. So these were the major differences. Besides them, there are a couple of minor ones that I've noticed. The first one is the sub-dial at 9 o'clock. It now indicates the different modes, which are world time, stopwatch, countdown timer, alarm, and Bluetooth. Finally, when you are in timekeeping mode, it shows the battery level, high, medium, or low. On the other model, it simply indicated the day of the week. The second small difference is that the pin and the buckle are now made of steel and not plastic, so they should be more durable in the long term. Finally, the caseback has a bit more text, but other than that, it's the same, and so are the rest of the specs. Remember guys, this G-Shock is 200 meters water resistant, so if you're looking for the perfect summer watch that you can take swimming, the GA-B2100 is a worthy candidate. Another reason many people choose these is the fact that they can be easily modded. The most common mod consists of simply installing a full metal kit, the purpose of which is to make your G-Shock look as much as possible like the AP Royal Oak. I've had one of these and it was fantastic. They're usually beautifully machined and they fit the case perfectly. Then there are people who can further customize the watch for you by painting the indices or even the dial. In fact, I've got a friend who is an artist, put a brush in his hand and he can do literally anything. He even tried to recreate the Moonwatch that I reviewed a few months ago, and it turned out pretty nice. However, the one I like the most is this black PVD coated model with rainbow indices. It looks absolutely stunning in my opinion. I'll ask him whether he still accepts orders, and if he does, I will also leave his contact info below. Now, I would like to show you how these watches compare next to some of my other G-Shocks. As you may know, I'm a huge fan of Casio G-Shock, and that explains why I own about 10 of these. G-Shocks are typically big, bulky and aggressive looking, which is the main reasons why I like them, but also the reason why some people choose to stay away from them. However, the CasiOaks are much more mainstream and they are significantly smaller than some of the other well-known G-Shocks, such as the Rangeman. I would say these were about the same as any G-Shock Square, but thinner. This, by the way, is my B2600. It's a fairly recent purchase and it's awesome. Let me know if you would like to see a review of it. Here is also how it compares next to my GD100. The B2100 is quite a bit smaller and as a result much more comfortable on the wrist, but that doesn't change the fact that the GD100 is one of my favorite G-Shocks ever. Finally, I want you to see this. This is my Casio AE1200. It's my cheapest watch in the collection, but probably the one I wear the most. It has a very similar presence on the wrist compared to the CasiOak, but I've just treated it with a metal bezel with a sapphire crystal and a solid link bracelet with screws, courtesy of skxmod.com. This thing now weighs 135 grams and it's pure quality. Review of it is coming to the channel in the following weeks. So guys, I'm sure no one will disagree when I say that both the older and newer B2100 series consist of some really fun watches that can be yours for less than €200. These are durable, they look cool and sporty, can be modded, and they don't cost much. The new versions retail for €149, except for the yellow one, which is €10 more expensive for some reason, but you can typically get them with a discount. Even at retail, I think these are worth the money, but if you don't care about the solar battery, then go for the non-solar models and save yourself some cash. That's pretty much it for today. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Let me know your opinion of these watches in the comments below. If you plan to get one, I would love to know which color you fancy and whether you plan to get a metal bezel and bracelet for it. Finally, if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, guys, as it's the best way to support the channel. Thank you once again, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.